At what point does accepting help diminish the accomplishment of making it to level 60 on hardcore? I mean, what if people played the game for you? This is one of the major concerns surrounding the hardcore scene, and it's only becoming more prevalent since OTK announced their Mogul tournament with a prize pool of $100,000, gaining so much attention that Asmongold himself has already responded, and some streamers have already called it quits. But that's not all we're gonna talk about today. Players have found ways to get your hard-earned level 60 characters killed without you really having much to do in terms of counterplay. Griefing is becoming more popular, and some guilds are already clearing the game's final raids. So today we're going to discuss the successes, fails, as well as all of the drama currently surrounding the hardcore scene. Ever since Agron came on the Hardcore All-Stars finale to announce the official hardcore realms where Blizzard was showing support, we knew that we would see some crazy growth in popularity of the entire gameplay style itself. Whereas even if you look on Twitch right now, almost everybody is playing the game. Now, not only is that happening because of the fun and kind of intense style of the playstyle, but also OTK has officially announced the largest tournament in all of World of Warcraft history with a $100,000 prize pool. Now, this tournament is open to everyone, but it absolutely brings in the integrity of the game. Early on, people were wondering, with the game not being solo self-found, would you actually see players getting gear and leveling up for themselves? Or would you see a little bit of the actual hardcore lifestyle be changed a little bit? Now, I'm not bringing this up for a debate. The hardcore realm playstyle does always play towards your own personal experience. So if you want to play one way, you absolutely can. And that one way might be dying because, as we've seen, just 30 days into hardcore launch, almost 400,000 hunters, or over 400,000 hunters, were actually felled trying to make their way up to level 60. Warriors were the second highest on the death list, but these numbers just show how popular the playstyle is, how many people are actually enjoying it, and hopefully it goes to show that everybody wants to actually experience hardcore for themselves. We're getting a little bit of the magic of classic WoW with this, where everybody's on one realm. You run into your friends, you run into some famous streamers, you run into people you kind of want to avoid. And those exact type of people that you want to avoid are actually griefing players right now. Guys, if you're getting world buffs and summoned to Booty Bay, there is a huge kind of surge of this now that this video has released, but players, level 60 players, are getting griefed by buying summons or getting summoned to Booty Bay to try to get their buffs and getting summoned off of a cliff where their character will actually just fall to its death. Now, you obviously can potentially use lip if you're falling to take no physical damage so that you are immune, but your character is moving before your actual loading screen is done. So you might actually load into the game and fall to your death before you even have a chance to react. This is gonna be a way where I would say that everybody should watch out for taking any summons, and I would highly anticipate Blizzard takes some sort of reaction to this, because griefing without any system to appeal is gonna cause a lot of drama. And imagine you had spent so much time gearing up your characters just to have somebody actually summon you to get a world buff and kill your character, something you weren't really thinking about and relatively out of your control. But on the bright side of things, people like Blizzard's own CEO, Mike Ibarra, are actually paying attention to the hardcore scene. Now, Quick actually came into Stay Safe stream to show support for the game mode and for the people that are playing it, as well as watching it and streaming it, and was giving away 12-month codes to World of Warcraft. So you could actually get a free 12-month code. Mikey Barra just hopped in and was just being helpful and friendly to the people watching that stream. This is so nice, and it's amazing to see Blizzard officially supporting this game mode, as well as they also are a sponsor on the $10,000 or $100,000 Mogul tournament. But we're gonna see a lot of things with that. If I take a step back and we kind of look at how this drama has unfolded. Also, if you guys want to keep up with anything hardcore or anything WoW, make sure you're following this Twitch page. Absolutely follow this Twitch page. But things like people getting nepotism, buying gold, and I don't mean to shout out Peo, but this is just going around the internet today, so not a flame on him whatsoever, but a lot of people were gonna be buying gold as soon as they announced that we were gonna see a $100,000 tournament. You knew that things were gonna get a little bit cheesy. So you knew that people were gonna buy gold. You knew that people were also going to be just trading for loot. Streamers are getting a lot of nepotism to be honest, and we all know that. And there's a lot of people that are just getting free items to compete in this tournament, which is something that I think a lot of us probably saw the Asmus video come out early on before Hardcore Realms were launched, saying that as soon as you log in, you're probably getting traded 100 gold, a ton of bags, some fiery weapons, things like that. Just as a reference, and this again is no flame to anyone, but it is bringing up the concerns of the actual population or of the viewers and audience of the Hardcore Realms. But if you're not doing this, you will absolutely fall behind in these tournaments.
As of so far, I have 2 Dread Mists, Necromancer leggings for leveling, 2 life stones, 2 underworld bands.
And that's not even close to the amount that some people have. Some people are having a lot more things traded to them. Some people have thousands of gold already on the Makara tournament server realm. And that is because if you have a ton of viewers, they're gonna help you out with things. So this again brings up the idea of min-maxing or optimizing everything you do on the Hardcore Realms. Now, another way that you can min-max or optimize the realms is leveling up very quickly, getting boosted, where if you go to a hyperspawn location and tag every single mob, and the gnolls are one, there's crabs also that are a very good one that you can go to. But if you tag every mob and then have other players actually kill it for you or keep you up, you can level up ridiculously quickly. There's a ton of advantages going around where you're playing the game, but also not necessarily playing the game. Now, it's not just necessarily boosting that are helping people get up if they have some sort of advantages to fast levels. There are also ways of doing repeated turn-ins to level up extremely quickly. Things like leveling from 46 to 48 or 46 to 47 in something like 6 minutes. Now, I personally enjoy the raiding aspect of Hardcore, and I do want to highlight how successful the raids have been. With guilds like Hardcore Elite already defeating Cthulhu, and it's one of the scariest encounters in the entire expansion for Hardcore players. If there is one actual bad chain that goes out, the players could easily all die. Also, the Guild Frontier, which has almost every other world first clear or kills so far in this expansion or the hardcore mode, is also already defeating Nefarian, which is a fight where if everybody's not actually equipped with enough gear, specifically Onyxia scale cloaks, then they could easily all die to a one-shot ability. So being able to take this out with no deaths is extremely clean. On that note though, there are a ton of raids where people are going in and don't necessarily know the mechanics and are dying. Something like you're going to see in the background here, one of the scariest encounters in the raid, if you don't actually shield wall right away, or if you don't click the little obelisk before the boss reaches the bottom of the stairs, like right as he's reaching the bottom of the stairs. If you're not shield walled and he's empowered and he doesn't get debuffed, then he's basically going to one-shot people. This is actually happening a ton, and you're obviously probably seeing it in the hardcore highlights clips. Let's watch it happen right now. Unfortunately, Berg does get whomped in a second. Farts goes down. The boss still hasn't been debuffed. Berg is down, and the crystal finally gets clicked. That is 3 deaths right away, and they are able to Petri out. But there's 2 other major concerns the community has when looking at Hardcore Realms. The first one being stream snipers, players being completely buffed up and prepared to take down anyone that is streaming. Now, you don't have to agree to any Makaras, and you also don't have to go inside of the actual arena here for Gurubashi Arena. And Zico has been collecting ears like crazy, as well as dealing with stream snipers pretty well. But there are some situations where if you do get stream sniped, if you're trying to do something, there's nothing really you can do. They have protection potions, they have world buffs, they will use every single consumable in the game, and this makes it a lot more challenging for players that want to experience the game in the most fair way. Now, you can make the argument that if you are streaming the game, you do invite people to come and try to stream snipe you. That's also part of the draw, part of the excitement when you're watching someone like Zico do something like the Gurubashi Arena. But it is absolutely something that people are doing to grief players. If you're doing a duel, if you want to have a fair Makara and then out of nowhere they equip all of their best gear or have all of the best world buffs, anything like like that. It's something that you always need to watch out for, and it's something that we're probably going to experience a lot more moving forward if you end up doing these duels. Obviously, you're not really doing many Makaras unless you're very confident, but expect the other person always to do something cheesy. And the last major drama within the hardcore realms are the server DCs. Now, if you actually disconnect from the game and your character is dead, then there's nothing you can do to outplay that. If you watch this like now is trying to play the game, but your hardcore journey is just over after spending days, weeks, months playing this. And this is something that you had to expect, especially as we knew hardcore coming from the actual realms of Diablo. It's something that you can't really get your characters back on if you DC here, but it is something that's absolutely an issue. And there was one day where there was disconnects for all of the European realms. This was a massacre so wide that there was multiple Reddit posts, as well as Blizzard had to officially respond to these server issues. It is such a big deal that hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of people had their characters die during the actual disconnects of the realms. So it's something that is always going to be a caution or a cautionary tale for anyone that wants to play on the hardcore realms, that server stability is very crucial. Unfortunately, Mad Season also fell prey to this on 2 separate characters on 2 separate runs. And that pretty much rounds up everything I wanted to talk about today, bringing all the concerns of the community, the successes, the fails, and everything in between of the current hardcore scene. If you like this and want me to cover more things like this, definitely let me know in the comments. And of course, you can like and subscribe, but that's pretty much it. Bye-bye. And also, oh yeah, race the world first on Thursday. Bye.